For concurrency control, the next approach is optimistic method. By optimistic method, we assume that the majority of database operations do not conflict and does not require locking or timestamping technique. It is possible if we have a less number of users and the users don't perform too much or bulky write operations. In that case, the optimistic approach is the best way to be implemented for concurrency control. Transaction is executed without restrictions until it is committed, acceptable for mostly read query database systems that require very few update transactions. The optimistic method is useful when we have less number of transactions and we may have less number of users, and particularly there are less number of write transactions. By write I mean that there are less update queries or insert queries, and most of the queries are select for reading data from the database. Next, we have database recovery management. Database recovery management is associated with the rollback operation of transactions. If the transaction is not successfully executed, or all the statements inside that transactions are not executed successfully, then those which statements are executed and made some changes in the database, those changes are rolled back to the previous state and the database is reverted back to its previous consistent state. Restores database from a given state, usually inconsistent, to a previously consistent state. The inconsistency may come due to the partial execution of a transaction. Based on the basic transaction property, the basic transaction property is the completeness of transaction, or we can say that entire transaction must be executed. All portion of the transaction must be treated as a single logical unit. We have already studied about this thing, that the transaction is considered as a single logical unit, and that unit may have multiple statements in it, in which all operations must be applied and completed to produce a consistent database. And we have also discussed this thing, that inside transaction, if we have 5 statements, then all those 5 statements must be executed. There should not be partial execution, means that we cannot say that 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 are executed and rest got failed. So this would not happen. Either these 5 statements will execute or none of these statements will execute. This is the main property of transaction. If transaction operation cannot be completed, means some statements got error, transaction must be aborted. By aborted we mean rollback, and any changes to the database must be rollbacked. We have studied about rollback in the transactions. So this is a statement used in transactions to roll back all the changes upon unsuccessful execution of a transaction. The database recovery process involves bringing the database to a consistent state after failure. If we get any error, any issue in a transaction, so now we must revert all the changes and bring the database into its previous consistent form. So this is actually the database transaction recovery. For transaction recovery, we have 2 procedures. The first one is deferred write and the second one is write through. In deferred write, transaction operations do not immediately update the physical database. We have some statements in a transaction, so all these statements are executed at once. Like here we have an update statement, this will not be executed, here this will not be executed. Once all these are completed, the change would be made here at the end of transactions. There is no immediate update, only the transaction log is updated. For each statement the log is updated but the database is not updated. Database is physically updated only after the transaction reaches its commit point, here the bottom of a transaction or the last statement in the transaction, using the transaction log information. What we do here, we process the statements inside the transaction, and for each statement, we update the transaction log, not the database. Once we reach the last point, the commit of transaction, after that, we look into the log, and according to log, we make changes in the database. If the transaction aborts before it reaches its commit point, suppose here we got an error and this transaction aborted, no rollback is needed because in this process we did not change the database, we only changed the transaction log, so we don't need any rollback because the database was never updated. A transaction that performed a commit after the last checkpoint is redone using the after values in the transaction log. If you remember, there were two fields in the transaction log. The first one was before and the second one was after. So once the commit is performed inside the transaction, after that we will look into the transaction log, and inside transaction log we will look for the after values, and according to those after values we will change our database. It is just like the interpreter. If you remember, in programming we have studied about the compiler, and in the interpreter, by compiler we mean that the statements must be executed one by one. In compiler, we say that all the statements are executed one by one and the effect is directly put on the system. While in interpreter, we say that all the statements are executed at once, means that these statements are not individually executed. All the statements are taken as a block and all these are executed at once. So this deferred write is somehow similar to that interpreter. All the statements inside a transactions are implemented at once, and for each statement inside the transaction there would be no change in the database, only the transaction log is changed for each individual statement inside the transaction. Then we have write through. Database is immediately updated by transaction operations during the transaction execution, even before the transaction reaches its commit point. It is just like compiler. In compiler, each statement is directly executed. So inside the transaction, all the statements are directly executed. We don't wait for the last commit statement. If this statement came, it is executed directly. It is just like compiler, you can say. If the transaction aborts before it reaches its commit point, since we made changes for each individual statement of the transaction, means that the database has been changed. So in case we get an error in the transaction somewhere before the commit, we must roll back these changes. We must revert these changes. A transaction that committed after the last checkpoint is redone using the after values in the log. So here we look for the checkpoint in the execution of transaction, and we also check for the after values inside the log. A transaction with rollback after the last checkpoint is rollback using the before values in the transaction. So if we got an error before the checkpoint, then we must look for before values inside the log, and if the checkpoint is crossed after that, we must apply the after values from the log. This was all about the concurrency control, or controlling the concurrent transactions. If you have any question, you can put your comments and queries on KCMS. Thank you.